Hello everyone. In this today's demo of the demonstration, we are going to talk about natural language understanding. Now, natural language understanding is a part of natural language processing. So, as you know, the word understanding means that how we can understand natural language the way a human speaks. In order to demonstrate this, I'm going to use all the three major platforms. One is the IBM Watson and Google Cloud and Amazon. So how the natural language is understood? You can search in Google of each one of them for natural language understanding for IBM, Google and Amazon, and you can reach to this page. Okay. So in this page, basically what we're going to do, this is the default text available on the page. So we're going to use the same text across all the three models and see the results. Now the objective over here is that I don't know what is the text. I haven't read them yet, I read it even, right? But I want to understand more about it, right? So let's go down and click on analyze. So it will take some time and it will send you what IBM has analyzed out of this text. We will not go into the practical usage. This is just for demonstration purposes of what is natural language understanding. So based on the text that was shared, right? The overall sentiment of this entire text is negative. Okay. Then you can also look into the emotions. If you see, this text talks about sadness, and it also provides a score, how much confidence that IBM has that this is a sad content, or how much confidence does it have for joy. So for example, from this text, it found out that sadness and joy, a mix of both, is the main emotions in the above text, right? Then look into the keywords, and then you see these are also uh, you know displayed in order of maximum relevance. So it talks about treasure ship. So if you have a book that is uploaded and you want to talk about treasure ship, this article talks about treasure ship. Rugged Colorado desert of California. So these are the different keywords that are associated with this text. So when you do a search against those keywords, you will automatically see this as a result. Okay. Then comes the entities. Entities are basically the objects or subjects available in that text. So if you see, there's a for geographic feature, so it also has a type associated to it. So uh, if you see, I don't know, I haven't read the text, but I want to know what are the characters associated with this story. We can try it out with some book text, and we haven't read the book yet, but we want to know who is the major character. So in this text, the above text, right, the main person that is being talked about is Miltil Bots. Okay, he's a person. Similarly, you can see different other persons as well. It talks about location, so that this, you can see it's based out of Mexico, California, Colorado. These are the typical locations that this article is talking about. But the most important thing is Canebrake Canyon. It talks about this geographic feature, Canebrake Canyon, the most. Okay, so based on this, you can have multiple use cases. We will not go into that. Then it also does categories. So if you see, what can I categorize this content? So over here, if you see, there is a hierarchy which talks about, okay, this talks about travel and society, and then the subcategories, for example, unrest and war and sea travel. Some of the documents, it also has some concepts inside it. So what are the typically concepts? It talks about Colorado desert. So it has a huge concept of Colorado desert. If somebody wants to know about a concept about Colorado desert, this text contains enough information about Colorado desert. Then there are syntax, right? And then it talks about prepositions and stuff like that. These are rarely used. And then the semantic rules, right? So what are the actions associated? What are the subject for each line? What is the subject, object, and the action? So if you know grammar, it's subject, object, and verb, right? So this is natural language understanding, so by which programmers can use this to their own benefit. Now let's look into Google Cloud. Google Cloud has something called as Google Natural Language. So I copy pasted this text over here, and then let's analyze it and then see what Google has to say about it. While it is running, okay, it has generated a result quickly. So if you see, Google analyzes its own with its own machine learning and AI. So over here, these are all the entities. Now, if you see over here also you have the entities, right? And over here also it has the entities, and it also predicts a score beside it. Okay. You can see all the text, and then it also looks into the entities and then tells you, okay, talks about Milebrots as a person, Colorado Desert, right? You can see that again, the Colorado Desert, which was talked about as an entity, it is being shown over here as a location. Treasure ship, other, husband as a person. So these are all the text that has been associated with this. So both of them does the same thing, but the algorithms and the accuracy depends upon them. Sentiment, as you can remember, there was the sentiment, so the entire document sentiment is talking about, and then it takes each sentence and finds out its sentiment. Okay, now let's go up. Syntax, again it talks about the syntaxes that we talked about, right? So dependency, parse level, lemma, morphography, these are all machine learning algorithms or speech, right? And then the categories. So if you see, it categorizes as travel and tourist destinations. So more or less, if you see the category over here, it also had travel and sea travel as another category. So however, tourist destinations, it provides that, okay, Colorado Desert, which is the most important keyword into this text, and it talks about how tourist destinations over there. Okay, let's see what Amazon has to say. So this is AWS Comprehend. So you will have to have an AWS account, punch in your credit card for that, and then work on this. However, there are some free usage as well, right? So over there you can use maximum 5,000 characters, so out of which I've used 3972. So let's analyze it. So it has analyzed, and the same, if you see entities, the same thing that we talked about. It talks about the Colorado Desert of California, right, as a location. So again, 97% confidence. You can see it's similar. So all of them has given us similar results, right? But there are minor differences. So when in a real project, based on situations, you will have to figure out which one to choose. I am never a fan of one single tool. It depends upon which one is best and use those, because all of them are API based. Okay, so again, that's the key phrases that are talked about, and you can go to the next levels as well. Language, again, if you see, the entire text language is English, and this is a very key feature. So if you have one, first if you identify the language, and then you can do translations and stuff like that. Sentiment, again, if you see, neutral is 99%, positive is 0, negative is 0, mixed. So there's a difference over here. So if you see, IBM has said that the sentiment is more or less negative, whereas Amazon has said it's neutral, right? And these are minor differences here and there that you will have to adjust in your application to make the most out of it. Never fall for one single cloud provider for your artificial intelligence. Choose the one that suits you the best. Now we know that this is one part of text. Now let me tell you what will be my example while there is a customer conversation, which is an audio file. Now so for that audio file, how will you do that? To do that, you need to convert that speech into text. Okay, so there's one component that each one of these service providers will provide, called speech to text. So over here, I'm using the IBM one. So over here, let's play something and see how that text is converted, that speech is converted to text. Okay, I'm going to play a sample file, which IBM already has, and it also detects multiple speakers. I hope the audio from the computer goes up to you, because this is the first time ever I'm recording a video like this. So I'm clicking on play sample.
So thank you very much for coming, David. It's good to have you here.
Good. It's my pleasure, Michael. Glad to be with you.
How real is artificial intelligence?
The question of how real is artificial intelligence is a complex one. I would say if we define artificial intelligence as the ability of a machine on its own to understand large volumes of data, to reason that data with a purpose, to predict the future, and then to continue to learn and get better, that is happening today in certain fields.
How far in the continuum is IBM Watson in operability artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so first of all, once it's actually intelligent, it will no longer be artificial. So we're moving to the point that these systems increasingly understand enormous volumes of data.
So that file was played. I hope you guys were able to hear it. Not only that, if you see, uh, it got that speech file converted into text. It also put in the speakers, right? So for example, speaker 0, speaker 1. Now many of you might argue about prepositions, right? Like comma, full stops and other stuff, uh, but it will take some time for it to pick it up, but it does its job, right? Similarly, most of the other ones will also have it. And then you can see that how it identifies the word timings and alternatives. You can use them in your programming as well. What are the keywords that were talked about? So IBM is spotted 100%. Obviously it is an IBM demo, so obviously IBM will be there. And these are the keywords that I wanted to spot, right? So before even it started, I said that okay, let's look into that, how much of these keywords are being spotted over there. And obviously there's a JSON interface through which you can use it in your programming, right? So I hope that helps you and helps you understand that how a computer can understand human language. Now let's take into some practical examples and then look into that. So I have opened something called as IBM Personality Insights. Okay, and in this you can see that it takes the Twitter handle of a person and finds out what kind of a person is he or she. Okay, so again, this is publicly available for demo. You can search IBM Personality Insights demo and you can land onto this page. So let's click on Opera. So I clicked on Opera, I clicked on Analyze. So it is taking her tweets, right? And then providing you an analysis of the person. So it tells you how many words it has analyzed and finds out what is its very strong analysis. That's the first personality portrait. She is very helpful and analytical, and her details of summarizes her what she's all about. She's empathetic, uh, and then there's some very interesting things like she doesn't like documentary movies, she doesn't attend live musical events, she prefer using credit cards, she doesn't prefer using credit cards for shopping, and then she likes Latin music. So and then there are more variables. We will not talk about it, just to give you a demo of it. So I just wanted to show you. Let's look into someone else. King James, right? Then yes, very strong. He also was very strong analysis, and then provides you this information. So in summary, these are some examples of how you can use natural language understanding. The opportunities are immense, but the objective over here was to just give you an idea of what is natural language understanding. Remember, natural language understanding is only a part of it, part of natural language processing. It helps you understand human. In the next video, I'm going to show you about natural language generation, the opposite of it. So once I have a text or a data, how will I present it to humans in a more meaningful and human way? Thank you for listening and have a nice day.